Hey, it is Saturday. We got another weekend review. Can you believe these weeks are going by so fast? That seems super fast on this week. Did a lot of overtime too this week, so we're coming home today pretty tired. But it is about 10 o'clock on Saturday night, and we will go over some Pip Logic, and we got some pretty good news. At least exciting news to me, but it's we don't have any definitive news yet, but it's at least a teaser about Pip. And then we have some DSJ going on. Always doing good things on DSJ. So let's get started on Pip Logic. And we ended up, our last video was on Wednesday, and we didn't get a trade on Wednesday. And then Thursday came around, and it didn't come in too early, so I went to bed after my shift, thinking, maybe they won't trade again on Tuesday because the market just really crazy with gold and silver. But when I woke up, they actually had one in there, and it was another awesome one. So they bought at 41.29 and sold at 41.48, and we made a whopping $112. And 11 cents. So that is pretty great. And we did break that 81 or 80%. So we got 81.88. And let's look at the total numbers that they gave us. All right. So on Thursday, their trade was 2.39%. So almost 2.4. And we got a weekly report of 5.2, and that was only on 2 trades. Remember, the other one was 2.81, and then we got a 2.39, so a big whopping 5.2. That brought us to 11.7 for the month, and we still have one more week. Let's look here. Yeah, Halloween is on Friday, so we got a whole nother week of trading. So hopefully we can get another, maybe 3 or 4%, and that would bring us to about 15% for the month, which is fantastic. That's what we were doing the first couple of months that I got in, and then last month it just kind of was definitely different. There was a lot of red folder days, and so they didn't trade a lot of them. What did we get last month? I can't remember. I think it was like just about 10 or 11% last month, right? Anyway, so we're already passing last month, and we're going to have a whole nother week, so that's great. Looking good on Pip Logic, but I wanted to read to you. Let's go back to the regular screen. Their little teaser here. It says, obviously we don't trade on Fridays, ending another profitable week in the books. We have some very exciting updates to share over the weekend, and then it has a bunch of eyeballs. Look. And then it says, if you've been loving us these past many months, wait till you hear what's coming. Stay tuned. So that is very encouraging to me. I like to hear that with Pip Logic. Pip Logic is the one for me that's just kind of grounds me as far as investing. So even though they've been kind of sporadic with their conservativeness, they're just like, I'm not going to take a trade today, and it's a little crazy, and they stay out of the market and wait for a good entry. So far, it's just been impressive that way, and they are conservative, but it's still a heck of a lot more than you get at a bank or anywhere else, really, doing trades or mutual fund or anything like that. So very impressed, and if they're coming out with something different, I want to know what it is. I don't know. I mean, we've got this set up pretty good, and then they have it to where we have a referral program. So I'm like, what are they going to come up with? I don't know if they're going to say, hey, we can make it to where you can invest more of a percentage of your account, or I don't know. Maybe they'll come out with, instead of such a conservative one, maybe they'll come out with a second option to get into that maybe is more aggressive. I don't know. Anyway, they piqued my interest. And I know that I took money out of this one to get into DSJ, And with DSJ going so well, I might start taking money out of DSJ and putting it back into this one to build up my position in this one, especially with whatever news is coming out this weekend. So we'll have to see on Monday and see what they come up with. They did say over the weekend, yeah, we're going to share it over the weekend. So hopefully they'll do something tomorrow, because the weekend stops tomorrow. So anyway, hopefully we'll get something. So moving on to DSJ. Oh yeah, so 5.2 was what we got for Pip. So now we'll move over to DSJ. Another great week. We're up to 116.91. But here's one thing for me. I don't know, everyone has different things, but mine, I had like 3 trades in a row that were 60 and below. I was like, what's going on? Let's see. Look at all these 60, 60, 60, 60, 60. Oh, I got a 64 today. I didn't even check that. That's crazy. They got me so connected to these 60s that all of a sudden it was like, hey, I got one, but I didn't even do it. Didn't even look. But that was a put today that we got a 64 on. But they do say it's a 60-40 split with DSJ. So whatever we're making, DSJ actually takes, 40% of that for the whole contract thing. Why we have this awesome page all by ourselves, and this invited me is only something that we use as DSJ. So no one else gets to use this one. So that's on there just for us. One thing I listened to. My upline, there's a guy named Richard who's into this pretty heavily. They have a Che team, Che Telegram, and they do a lot of like 4 times a week they have a Zoom call, and of course everyone's invited to bring their people in. And if you're interested, send me a comment saying that you want the Che team Telegram, because I can give you that Telegram group. They're fine with that. It's a lot bigger than ours, so there's a lot more comments on it, but they're pretty active. So if you wanted to share this with anybody and go on a Zoom call and listen to his presentation, that's pretty good. But a couple of the last presentations he's done, he's really emphasized so over on when you're doing the invite and you're doing your copy and pasting, you'll notice on the phone, this call and the put buttons are right below this. And the weird thing is if you click one of those buttons and hit submit, it's not this copy and paste trading one where it's only 1% of your account. It will trade your account. And so he's saying that there's been 3 people that's been in his group underneath him that have blown up their account so he's basically saying copy and paste and then get out of that page, go back to assets or something, because then there's no call and puts. And if you click on a call and put, it puts a trade in for you. So it's live trading. So he's warning everybody, because he's had 3 people just wipe out their account because they'd put the copy and paste in, and they would put their phone in their pocket without closing it or whatever, or even when they're just fumbling around with it, in their purse or whatever, and they'll hit that call or put button, and then it'll just keep going. There's no stop losses on that, and there's no nothing. So you got to be careful to close it out so that you don't accidentally blow up your account and just have everything get just taken out. So that's he's like, I feel so bad for those 3 people that have contacted me, and I'm like, I can't do anything about that. The trade went through, and it lost a bunch of money for you, or if there was luck on your side, maybe it made money for you. But 3 of them have blown up their accounts. So he's really kind of pushing that. So I want everyone to know, get out of this page here on your phone, because this one, it looks like it's all over here. So it's kind of hard to really screw up unless you start playing with this whole thing over here with the trade. But all this is put underneath this on your phone. So it's like right there where you're copying and pasting. So it's pretty scary. I can see how that would happen. I'm glad it hasn't happened to me yet, so I'm going to start closing that out a little quicker. Usually I leave it open. And usually I'll leave it open and then keep the positions here. I'll be looking at my position, but even under position, there's still a buy and sell column put. And so yeah, even while you're waiting, you could still hit that button while you're messing around if you're not careful. So be careful. Okay, enough of that. So last week I had, let's go back to assets. Last week I had $8,640, and so mine, this minus that was $816. So I made $816 this week. I am up to 116 P&L, so that's pretty good, over $100 again. And so when you calculate that, let's see. So the first video that I did, it was $359, and then since then I made $457. So a grand total of $816. And if you divide my previous balance, which was $8,640, you get 9.4. So times 100. All right, so 9.4% this week. So very good. I didn't get any bonus trades or anything this week. So I know last week it was 10% or 10 point something percent. So yeah, it was just a plain flat out trades this week. No bonuses to add to it. I did get my $30. Every 10 days you get your $30 for being a tier 1. So that is all it was an extra $30 there. So very good. We're sitting at 9,456 and gearing up for another withdrawal on the 11th of November. And I did check the calculator, and I'm about 150 shy of where the goal was, at least. So it's pretty close. And so we'll be taking another mortgage payment out on the 11th. So that's pretty good. And we did get another sign up yesterday. And that actually makes it 18. And I say 18, but some of the people that are right below me in our group actually have several people that they've added also, and that actually adds up for me too. So when they get people signed up, it adds to mine. So if I get two, what is the next level? If I get 2 tier 1 people under me and 25 people total under me, then I get to be level 2 tier, and the tier 2 is $150 every 10 days. So that's the next step there for this DSJ as far as the referral side. So if you want to, maybe I'll put one of the Zoom calls on here from Richard from the Che team, and you guys can listen to that and see if you'd want to connect with him and start inviting people to listen to his presentation. Anyway, maybe I'll do that in between this week. In the next week, I'll put one of his up here, because he always he says, hey, share it and bring people to it. So he's all about being okay, just pass it on. So I'll put one of his Zoom calls on here. We'll do that next week. All right. Okay, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you're having a good one. And we'll talk to you on Tuesday probably with another trade on Pip Logic. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.